Hello, I'm talking today about Iboga initiation and the times of distraction that we're living in.
They give the dyslexic a mic. All right, well, I'll let you get started.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming, and thank you, Nimben and Minji, Ojibwe country, Mardi Gras, for having me here, my old stomping ground. So we live in a time where you can avoid yourself completely. We live in a time where you can make your way through life and never have really encountered yourself. You can miss it. You can miss that exit. We've created a culture that allows and enables us to miss meeting ourselves. And in that climate, in that ecology that we're living in, there are medicines like Iboga. And a medicine like Iboga will remove every exit door. And the only pathways open are inwards to meet yourself, inwards towards your soul. So I am Maree. I am a plant person, a herbalist, and I've lived in Nimben for a number of years, dispensing hundreds of plants to people at the apothecary. And I've been spending the last 12 years digging a hole, and digging one hole, and it's a hole that's been digging down into the context of plants. And it was really tempting sometimes to stop digging that hole and to go dig another hole, because it looked like there were a lot of other options as well. We're in this time of distraction where everything is available to us. But I kept digging that hole, and I'm 12 years in, and I can say I'm starting to find some gold. But I'm only just starting to find some gold, so I want to see where this goes for another 12 years. And this is something that some people aren't doing in the times we're in. It's a lot more tempting to dig like 200 holes that are a few inches deep. And in that process, we're missing out on the gold. We're missing out on the depth that only comes from being focused, from not being distracted. So the times we live in are times of distraction. And this talk is a little bit about distraction versus initiation. Very different terrains. But the terrain of distraction invites in initiation, and that's where this plant Iboga is going to come in. Currently we're in a phase culturally, collectively, that's like pubescent. We're like teenagers, and there is an invitation for us to go through a collective rite of passage into the next stage, into the next epoch, an expression of what being a human is on this earth, what our role is. And that's going to require a bit of an initiation and a bit of growing up. So the times that we're in, they also get called the great drawback. This is where there's a great drawback of resources happening, and you might be feeling that in your own worlds, that resources feel more expensive and the energy is drawing and contracting back in. That's the times that we're in. It's also the great reveal, where we get to see the masks behind the puppeteers. We get to see the hands that are weaving the stories that we're telling. And it's very important in these times to come back and know yourself. To know yourself very intimately, and that's what a rite of passage is, that's what an initiation is. It's a journey into your own soil, so that you know yourself and that you can claim that space. You live in an amazing planet where we don't actually get to own anything, we only get to caretake the things that we can actually care for. That starts with our body and our families, and that can grow into our community. But we don't own any of it, it's just what we can caretake, and that means we need to not be distracted and we need to be paying attention to be able to care for something. Culturally, it's becoming normalized to take this anesthetic, to be disassociated, to live in a state of avoidance. So like it's happening to all of us. We're like 10 episodes into Netflix series on the weekend. What are we avoiding? What are we not looking at? Because the reality is that when we're not looking at what's right in front of us, and we're distracted and we're like looking over to the side and looking at something else, then we're missing the details that our nervous systems are getting input from constantly. And those details are really, really important details. We are in a time of endless stimulation, and there's no real stop checks to it. It's like the infinite scroll. So if we want to, we can live an entire life and never really meet ourselves. We can just stay in that distraction. That's an option. But there's another option. It's the option of initiation. And that means to come towards taking responsibility for things. That's what an initiation is. It's not just a process you go through, but it's a responsibility that you earn. And that allows us to have a deep sense of meaning. And that's one of our needs as human beings, to have meaning in life. And initiation brings us to that.